Hello my YouTube chums. In my view, the mid-90s can be considered to be the golden age for point-and-click adventure games. Computers in the home had firmly progressed into being full-throated multimedia machines where sumptuous Super VGA resolution images were layered in with immersive CD quality sound to heighten your gaming experience. PC hardware had advanced incredibly in only a few short years, and point-and-click game developers used this to great effect. So in this video, let's take a look at 5 classic point-and-click adventure games that are still worth revisiting or playing for the first time today. In particular, these 5 employ a beautiful cartoon style of animation that makes them timeless classics. Welcome to Bite-Sized Thoughts, my little channel where I deal you a piping hot slice of 90s PC nostalgia with a smattering of retro console content. Subscribe if you also love this era and want to watch more little vids just like this. Discworld. Wow, now this game really blew people away when it was released in 1995. Developed by Teeny Weeny Games and Perfect 10 Productions, it became an instant classic due to its art design, quirky humour, excellent storyline based upon Terry Pratchett's novels, and its simply outstanding voice acting by a wealth of lovable British comedians. Its graphics were lauded upon release, but it's a very tough game with some very difficult puzzles. It remains exceedingly entertaining in my view and well worth revisiting, if only just to hear Eric Idle bring Rincewind truly to life. If you are a fan of Terry Pratchett, then this is a must play, but if you get frustrated easily, then you may want to try its sequel instead, which is a little more approachable. Revolution Software's original Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars. Wow. Released in 1996, this game quickly became a classic and was also released on many platforms. This is one of my absolute favourites because I truly adore the animation and the general story about the Knights Templar. Its slightly more serious tone was really interesting when compared to other similar adventure games released in '96. The increase in resolution and frame rate of the animation is also immediately notable when comparing to Discworld, even though it came out just 12 months or so later. And overall, I really think it's aged very well. The main characters are compelling and the setting in Paris is quirky and fun, though some of the accents are quite cheesy. Still, George and Nicole are now classic protagonists, and it's a joy to watch their relationship blossom, whilst the cinematic orchestral score throughout the game really enhances the emotion. A side note, the last time I completed this was on the Nintendo DS, which was actually a fairly decent conversion. Sanctuary Woods was a short-lived Canadian development house, and they put out their second title called Orienburger in 1996. It was one of only 2 point-and-click games that they released, but I am sure glad that they did. This game has great animation, bright, vibrant colours, and pretty decent voice acting in my opinion, with actors on hand like Rob Paulson from Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, and Jim Cummings, who himself has a whole list of voice credits. I personally love the storyline about these obnoxious aliens wanting to harvest humans for burger meat in their galactic fast food corporation. I remember reading about this game back in the day, but never tried it until recently, and I was impressed by the general writing of the characters that you meet around Wilbur's hometown of Boonsville, and it all served to hook me in. This game didn't sell too well on release unfortunately, and as mentioned earlier, Sanctuary Woods didn't release any more point and clicks after this, but I wholeheartedly think this one is worth seeking out and giving it a playthrough. Now this next one arguably could be classed as an FMV game, but it really straddles the two art styles, and I think it does it with aplomb. Moonstruck was released in late 1996 after 3 years of development by Californian-based Burst Studios. It reviewed really well from what I remember, and I always wanted to play it, though my 486 at the time didn't cut the mustard and I couldn't get the demos to work. But now I have no issues. Christopher Lloyd is wonderful in his portrayal of Drew Blank, the stressed out, worn out animator of Flux Wildly, who gets somehow pulled into the world of his cartoon creation. I must admit, his acting is fantastic and really makes a difference. Dan Castellaneta of The Simpsons voices Flux, but other leading actors are also involved, so just like Discworld, the voice acting here in this game is top draw. I can't recommend this game enough, a true classic. Okay, so no point and click list is really a list without either a Sierra or a LucasArts game. So here we have the classic Curse of Monkey Island, the third in the series. And wow, look how good the graphics are. The evolution from the first two games is incredible. And released in 1997, this was the last game that used the aging Scum game engine. Even though Ron Gilbert wasn't involved, the game is still fantastic. Favourite characters from the previous games are here, but they look incredible with the new animation. Some new classic characters were introduced. This game has charm by the bucket load and remains an amazing game to play through today. Lots of fun dialogue choices and a good storyline to boot. A lot of people still associate Monkey Island 2's original graphic style with the series overall, and I get that, but I really do think the style here works really well for this game. Fun fact, whilst reading up on the game, I saw that the actor playing LeChuck, named Earl Bone, was the obnoxious psychologist Dr. Peter Silberman in the first 3 Terminator movies. Anyway, so that's 5 point and click games which utilise a cartoon animation style that stand the test of time. Admittedly, Moonstruck blurs the line by merging FMV and cartoon together, but hey, this is just my opinion. Some of these games were commercially successful and generated sequels, so comment below if you'd like me to make a follow-up to this video with more point and click games with a cartoon art style. Whilst you're here, if you're interested in some PC hardware videos from the 90s, then take a look at the playlist below. The one on the left showcases some of my battle stations that I've collected here in Sydney, and on the right a few video essays about some of the cooler bits of tech from back then that you might find interesting. See you in the next one, my friends.